Welcome to episode 72 of Moms with Yarn. My name is Sharon. I am Bronx Knitter 1 on Ravelry and Bronx Knitter on Instagram. Welcome! It's been 2 weeks since my last podcast, so you know what that means. I'm on time! I'm starting to get back into the swing of things. It helps that summertime at work is downtime. A lot of people go on vacation, so I'm able to get some stuff done at work and at home. So yay for that. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about today. So this is going to be a very short episode. I wanted to be on time regardless of how much or how little I had. So first we'll talk about the knitting because there's little to speak of. And I am working on the Garland, the Mitten Garland Advent Calendar. I started it last year. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and the author of the pattern is Lewinski. And she has 24 little mittens so for Advent, and they're numbered. So how this whole thing started was I was watching Ken, the turbo knitter, and he had done a mitten, and I thought they were cute, and I figured, how long could it possibly take? They're little. He said he was making his larger, so it was taking him some time, but I knew that I was going to make them small, so I figured, how long could it take? Well, it's not one day of knitting. It's more than one day of knitting, but it is the thought that counts, and I am working on getting these done because I committed and I wanted to stay committed. So these were in order and now they're not. So let me show you what I did last year. So here is mitten 1. And these are all using a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. I'm using Magic Loop. All of the yarn is Knit Picks palette. And it is the same colors over and over and over again. I tried to use the colors that were in the pictures. And when I didn't have them or didn't feel like using them, I switched. It was that easy. So mitten number 1, mitten number 2, mitten number 3, mitten number 4, and they all came out different sizes, even though I'm using the same needle over and over again. Mitten number 5, mitten number 6, mitten number 7, mitten number 8, mitten number 9, mitten 10, mitten 11, and mitten number 12. So I am also working on mitten number 13. So the deal was to knit year long and to knit 6 mittens per quarter. That way you can get in, get them done, get them over with by the end of the year. Because if you did them and stretched it out like I did, they never get done. So mitten number 13 is July, August, and September. So I need to get 13 through 18 done. And this is mitten number 13. And this mitten is a little bit, it has 3 colors per row, which is why I'm carrying all 3 yarns up the side. And so I used red, white, medium gray, and light gray, and green. I ran out of the red, so I switched to this raspberry heather, which is close enough. And mitten number 13 is, I've already separated the thumb out. And so I have to do the hand and the thumb and the loop, and then it'll be done. And it'll probably get done by this evening because I am now caught up to the first 6 months, and now it's going to be easier for me to stay caught up. So I'm using the raspberry, the medium gray, and the same white for all the mittens. And I posted pictures on Instagram of the mittens close up. It's not just, it's stranded knitting, so it goes a little bit slower than regular knitting, but it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. And don't be hating on my fancy project bag. I had to shove it down in my knapsack to take it to work today, so that's why, oops, knitting down. But the finished mittens are being stored in my fat squirrel bag, and these 12 mittens fit in here just so, and it's fine, but the next 12 won't also fit in here, so I'm going to have to switch bags. So fat squirrel cupcake bag, got it at Christmas time some time ago, and I love it. And I like small project bags. I like the medium ones too. I haven't had to use any large ones, but so the other thing I wanted to talk about is, could you imagine, could you just guess? Tour de Fleece. The dates are July 7th through 29. I think it's 5 days of racing or 6 days of racing and 1 day of rest. Or 7 days of racing and 1 day of rest. But you can do whatever you want throughout the whole tour. You want to spin every day? Spin every day. Fine. Post your progress, but put your finished yarn in the finished objects thread where there's no chatter. And do all your chattering in the chatter thread. That way I can make sure that I pick the random number generator, somebody who actually did some spinning. Now, the goal is to spin 4 ounces, but you don't have to spin all 4 ounces. So whatever you spin is eligible. So, and all of your posts don't have to go into one post when you're spinning. So each yarn will get its own post. Does that make sense? So just need to be a member of the group, just need to post your progress, and I think in the chatter thread, if you want to show everything that you want to spin and you want to do your chattering and you want cheerleaders, that's where they will be. And I have chosen to dye this fiber and then comb it and then spin it, but that's a lot of fiber. And so today, last week I purchased a drum carder, and it just came in the mail today. And so it's an Ashford drum carder, which just came out of the box. I'm hoping that this will make things go a little bit faster. So, but while I am going to have to, you know, you put it in the dye and you wait, and then you take it out to dry and you wait. And so there's not going to be a whole lot of action going on with that. And as you can see, there's lots of these bags. It was originally 7 pounds, I think. And I don't think they're 7 pounds now because there was a lot of waste. And this is not an easy batch of stuff to get through. So I need time to be on my side. So because that's going to be a very big job, and there's still that shopping bag there is even more waste. So I decided that I better pick out some spinning projects for myself, because what can I do while I wait? Knit or spin. And it's the Tour de Fleece, so I'm going to spin. So I've decided that I'm going to, I pulled out this, oh, roll down, sheep tissue that I purchased many years ago. And the color is EOS. And I don't even know how much fiber is in here. I suppose I could weigh it. I'm not going to, but these are the colors. That's a lot. And on the back of the cover page is the instructions on how to spin it so that you get some blue moon-like fiber or yarn to make socks with. And of course, I like socks with crazy colors, so this is right up my alley. So that's project number 1, and it's been hanging around here for far too long. It's time for it to go. And so the other project I pick out is some 100% Targhee 4 ounces of Rainbow Spots by Friends in Fiber. And this has been hanging around for a long time, and it needs to go into my stash so it can become something. These colors make me extremely happy. So that's my second project for potential spinning. And I think that's it. I was just so tickled to be on time. So the Tour de Fleece, there's going to be a couple of winners. I have dyed up some 100% merino yarn, and that's one braid. And this is the second braid. So first come, first serve. It's 100% merino, and it didn't say superwash. In fact, it didn't say anything. And so I would treat it as if it is not superwash merino. And my wheel is up, ready to go. And I wanted to start some spinning like today because I'm so excited about Tour de Fleece. And I did post something in the Ravelry group, the Moms with Yarn Ravelry group. It says, I am not just a spinner during the Tour de Fleece, I am a watcher of the race. So if you know who won the stage that day, I'm going to try to avoid finding out who it was, because I'll be watching the race myself. Now, there may come a time when I actually ask somebody who won, but don't tell me. There's ways to find out myself, I'm sure. Anyway, that is the whole big deal. So I'm excited about being on time this week, and I'm excited even though it's a short episode, and even though there really wasn't much knitting content. We got the Mitten Advent Calendar. Thanks, Simona Maloney, for following along. And we have the spinning Tour de Fleece. The prizes were announced. The projects are announced. And so I'm going to get to finish my mitten, maybe work on my summer top so I can wear it while it's still summer, and pick out some projects because I need to make a pair of socks for July in keeping with my 12 pairs of socks. I also still haven't culled my herd, so there's some socks in my stash in my sock drawer that have got to go. But there's a bag of socks there that I made last year, and they never came upstairs. They never made it to the sock drawer. They've never been worn. I love, love, love them, but in order for them to fit in the sock drawer, I have to cull the herd. So I'm on a mission now. My bag of fiber waste is going to my friend Brenda. She's going to do some composting with it, I think. And I think that's everything. Oh, those 2 bags of yarn, they're projects already. So we shall see. Anyway, that's it. I wanted to be on time, and I am. And I wanted to remind everybody about the Tour de Fleece, and I did. And so now I'm going to go upstairs and do some knitting and let the air conditioner do its work, because you may have noticed I'm a little bit heated. Everything is pink. So I'm going to go get out of my work clothes and start enjoying my 1 day off this week. Until I see you next time, happy knitting and spinning.